Now, with Nadine.
I am thrilled to have my friend in studio today, Hailey Ostrom, a pro golfer who brings a fresh vibe to the course and beyond. Known for her incredible skill and sweet sense of style, Hailey is proof that golf isn't just about the game, it's about personality, passion, and making your mark. Hailey is married to an Olympian, balancing high-performance careers and personal life. And today we're going to talk about all the things from her killer golf swing to dominating Instagram feeds. But first, we do have another little guest in here.
We do have a little guest. I have my dog Frankie here.
Frankie.
So I'm just tossing him treats as we go.
if you are listening, Frankie is a what?
He is an Italian Greyhound.
And he's 4 pounds.
He's 6 pounds.
6 pounds.
He's only going to be 12 to 14 pounds, and he's 4 months old. He's leaving me to go do some training, 3 weeks of training, and I'm so sad. But
that will be major separation anxiety. This is your first baby.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
When I agreed to do it last night, I was already crying. I'm like, no, I don't want him to leave.
It's hard when I leave my kids for a few days, but once they're gone, it's a nice little break.
Yeah, no, he's been running around studio right now, so I'm like, this will be.
He's chill now. He's chill. 5 minutes before he was having a good time, but then later on we'll make sure to bring him on camera so people can see.
Yes.
So Hailey is the sweetest friend of mine, and I'm so glad you're here today. Thank you. She was on the cover of our May 2024 Paradise Valley City Lifestyle magazine, and she is just crushing life and everything from marriage to golf to new TV shows we're going to talk about today. But first, let's dive into your background. It's always the best place to start. You are a professional golfer, but you got the start from your dad.
Yes. So I started playing golf because my dad got me into the sport. And when I was playing, it was not cool to play golf at all, especially for women. So it was kind of like the dorky sport. But my dad got me into it. I played COJA, which was Central Oregon Junior Golf Association in Oregon.
Yep.
And from there, I just kind of fell in love with it and knew that it was the track to college. It was my way to get into college, and then from college it was like, oh, you know what, I'm pretty good. I should keep doing this.
Sure. And what was that path between, childhood, growing up on the course with your dad, but then the bridge to college? What was the step you took there to eventually make it pro?
Honestly, college,
where did you go?
I went to George Fox University, which is a small school in like Portland, Oregon area, and I was not good enough to go to that school. Even though it's a small D3 school, they had a phenomenal golf program. So I'm lucky that the coach saw something in me, and it was a huge eye-opener going from high school golf, playing short courses, to then transitioning into these long courses, college, way more serious, way more intense, and I was in over my head my freshman year. But I kind of started out seeing everyone else play, and I was sad because I wasn't on the team. I was on like the alternatives, and I just said, I'm never going to do this again. I'm going to make the team, and I will make the team next year, and I won't be an alternative ever again.
In a male-dominated sport at that time, for the most part, were you like, I have a little friend down there underneath the studio.
Frankie,
Were you?
Here you go.
Hi, baby. In a male-dominated sport at that time, for the most part, girls were still making their mark. But for you, how was that navigating, saying this is something I really want to do and pursue? Was that hard for you, or did you just have so much support from your family?
I had a ton of support from my family, but it was also the most natural thing for me. Golf was. It was definitely my best sport. It was the easiest for me to succeed in. So it wasn't too hard, but then going to the next step, I always say, I think my dad put that in my head without actually telling me, like, you should go do this. He just kind of like snuck it in there and let it become my own decision. But really, it was his idea.
Sure.
It's like, you could probably play in college. Like, I think you're good enough. And okay, yeah, maybe I'll look into that. And then, I think you're really good enough to go play professional golf. Why don't you look into moving down to Arizona or,
and that's how it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were at college and you were wanting to go play pro. Was there something like a fire inside of you? Because I know we had talked earlier, you had some dreams of pursuing maybe journalism or television. Did you have kind of an idea that time to go the golf route, but to also continue pursuing who you are, that other side of you?
You know, I think for me, again, with my dad's kind of help and assistance, he was saying, you're young, why not go travel? Go move somewhere else where you've always wanted to live. I had never even been to Scottsdale prior to moving to Scottsdale. And he's like, you've always wanted to live where there's palm trees, where there's warm weather all year. Go experience that first, and the right door will open. And that was kind of how I went through my entire career. Was golf is super fun for right now. It's providing me Frankie.
He's having fun.
I know. It's providing me a great opportunity to make friends, meet sponsors, big corporations, and at the end of the day, when the right door opens, I'll take it.
You've had a lot of doors open. So you moved to Scottsdale. When did you move here?
Right before 2017.
Right before 2017. And what was that initial break for you here in Arizona?
Well, the move was crazy. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a job lined up. I barely had any money, and I kind of just did it with a hope. But I would say the big break was getting my first sponsor, big sponsor, which was Nike. And that was,
I mean, that's a really big sponsor.
It was my number one goal.
Well, I think that's anybody's goal. Tell me about that call. Where were you? What happened? How did it all unfold?
I was at the PGA show with a group of girls. One of them ended up becoming one of my best friends. She was in my wedding. We were roommates later on. And we had just met each other at this event. And we were at dinner, and this guy comes up, and he's like, hi, Hailey, I've been following you for a while. I work for Nike. And I just was like,
heart stops.
Get it together.
Right.
And yeah, he said that he had this idea to put together like a Nike influencer program, and that I was going to be the first one if I would accept it. And so we had a call later on, and I just remember I went to the bathroom, and I called my dad, and I'm like, you'll never guess what just happened. Because it was my dream sponsor. Being from Oregon, that's a Nike mecca.
You can't get bigger than that.
Yeah, and from there, it felt like everything. I felt like I was on top of the world. I felt like everything was coming to me, and it just showed me I was in the right spot, and I couldn't have been happier.
You know, that's interesting that you say, like, you come here and you get this phone call, and then it just started to unfold naturally, and that's when it feels really right. But with what Nike proposed to you is doing as an influencer. So, I mean, being this fresh face of golf as a young girl, like a young woman, tell me about how that whole influencer thing sprouted, and how has it, now you are a totally dominant, figure on social. How did that kind of launch who you are now on Instagram?
So it's kind of funny how I started into the influencer world, because that wasn't really a thing yet, especially in golf. Paige had started doing her thing, but she was really the only one. And a friend of mine, his name's Spencer Ellsbury. Shout out to Spencer. He's the brother of Jacoby Ellsbury, baseball player. And he had run his page for a while, and he said, you know what you need to do? Like, you should start posting golf stuff on your Instagram, and it's a way to make sponsors. And I'm like, no one's going to want to see me post golf stuff. Why would they want to watch my swing? And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you need to do it. So we made a bet. It was like in a week or something, he said I would have, or maybe 2 weeks, I would have like 1,000 new followers. And I said, that's insane. And so it was, if I won, I don't even remember. If he won, it was like I have to give him a lesson. Well, after 2 days, I had 1,000 new followers. My page kind of shot at that point, and it was like a whole new job for me. It was a whole new experience. So you owed him a lot of
lessons.
Yeah,
I still owe him lessons, right. So, I mean, and what was that like posting on social? Did you just feel like this, was it natural for you to do these videos and put yourself out there?
Yeah, I would say I always hear, is social media hard? And I'm like, no, it's not hard. But I know it can be hard for some people. I know it's hard to put yourself out there. I'm very authentic on my page. I post the good, the bad, the ugly. I tell people about my struggle with acne or the cleanse I was doing or when Frankie's being bad. You know, everything is shown on my page. It's not easy to do that, but I think that is what my success came from, is people believe it's the real me because it is, and they just want to see the behind the scenes of my life and what I'm doing. And at the time, it was my golf life. What does that look like as a professional golfer? So yeah, the day-to-day, super fun, super easy, but I know it's not easy for everybody, and I watch other people struggle. Like, how do you know what to post? When do you post? You know, my dad he started his own business, and so he's been asking me, what should I post this? Like, do you like this image? Like, how's this caption? And I give him advice, and he's doing great, but I know it's hard for some people, but I don't know. I love it. I feel like it was what
it
I was
comes
made
natural
to do.
to you. And I think, I do want to dive into social and how it's evolved for you, but I want to do that in a little bit because I kind of want to go in order of events because I'll vouch for it. Back then it was predominantly golf, but now it's a lot, it's different.
Yeah.
I feel like it has evolved since getting married and you're talking about health and all that stuff. Talk to me. I remember when we did another interview, you were talking about your first hole-in-one.
Yes.
Talk to me about other kind of stories and memories that you started forming within your pro golfing career.
I would say I have so many memories of playing with certain people on the course. So professional golf, it's different for everybody. A lot of the early stages of professional golf is not as professional as you would think. It's music playing on the first tee. It's just not what you expect. And I never liked that about it. But looking back at my professional career, I remember meeting so many people that I still talk to. One of my friends I talk to today, she was somebody I met through professional golf. And I remember playing with her, and I played so poorly, I think, because we were just having so much fun chit-chatting on the course, getting to know each other, that by the end of the round, we were like, oh, wow, we shot 80. Like, that sucks. We should have probably focused. But, yeah, it's also led me to TV shows, and Shot Makers was my first TV show, and that was like a out-of-body experience. I'd always wanted to be on Big Break. Anyone who knows golf knows Big Break, but...
Talk to me about those two TV experiences.
So, Shot Makers, it was a competition on the Golf Channel at Topgolf, and it was hosted in Vegas, but we filmed in the middle of the night. So you basically would sleep during the day, but you'd have to wake up around like 5 or 6 if you can, and get ready, eat. Then you're starting filming at like 11 or 12.
I mean, that's so bizarre.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it took, was it weeks, a few days? I
think it was just over a week.
Okay.
I made so many friends. It was just an amazing experience. And from that moment, I knew I loved TV. I loved production. I mean, that's what I studied in school, but I loved being in front of the camera. I got that competition still going. And it was just so much fun. And right after that, I did Driver versus Driver 2, which was mostly just an appearance, one episode thing. But again, the whole experience, I love doing hair and makeup and then going, and you have to be on and just being in front of the camera.
Well, you know how to do that. And I keep bringing it back to social, but I feel like your background and your love for TV and hosting and interviewing and doing that stuff, you apply it right there for people to see all the time. Mm-hmm. So, and then there was another show that you did.
Yes. So the new show is called Blazing Aces, and it'll come out in a few months. It is on a new network. It's called Inspire Play Network. It's going to be all golf, and that one was the most fun I've ever done.
I might date Hailey, but for some people my age listening, we used to watch a show called Real World on MTV when MTV was a channel. And they would put all these people in a house and they'd fight and all this good stuff. This is like a golf real world
version.
You guys are all living in a house. Mm-hmm. People get kicked out.
Yes.
You know who it survives, but we're not going to talk about that here because again, it's airing in a few months from now. Can you give us anything else?
There's a lot of drama. So lots of golf, lots of drama, great
it's like
golf.
Bravo meets golf.
Exactly.
It's Bravo
Yeah,
meets golf.
we even have a couple Bravo faces that people
Oh,
might
wow.
recognize. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was that experience for you?
That's what I want to do every day. I mean, it's exhausting, but it is so fun to go film shows like that. And honestly, going into it, I knew a lot of people on the show. I didn't know a lot of the guys, but I knew a lot of the girls. And there's so much drama and cattiness. And like looking back, I'm like, oh no, I hope I don't look too bad because.
Wait, do we know, where did you film? Are you allowed to share where you filmed?
We filmed in Texas,
Okay.
and we had this big chateau for our house. So it was just
It's like
this
what you imagine
mansion.
it to be.
Yeah, yeah. And then every day,
How
we would
long were
take
you
a
there?
golf cart to the course. We were there again a week.
And
So-
was there competitions like on the golf course?
Yep,
And is that how
every
you got
day.
eliminated? Or is it kind of like the
Yeah.
Survivor style where you voted people off the island?
No, you have like a challenge and then a competition. So we'll see how it all comes out. But yeah, you can get kicked out at certain times and you can try and fight your way back in. So you're not necessarily out right away. But yeah, it came down to the wire. It was such a fun experience. So I can't wait for everybody
And
to
we
watch.
caught up a few months ago, me and you, and it's so funny because you didn't know that was going to happen then. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like your life just continues to unfold.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like my life is so chaotic and hectic all the time. So why we went and got a puppy, I don't know. But
I mean, well, there's a whole other side of Hailey that you don't know. She's also married to an Olympic snowboarder.
yeah, Louis Vito.
Yes.
So we got married in April, and his life is also chaotic. So he is in his Olympic season right now, getting ready for 2026 Olympics.
And just
So
briefly tell us, like, how many Olympics has he competed in?
he's done two.
Two.
Yep. He has competed for U.S. back in 2010, and then he transitioned and he's competing for Italy now, and he went to Beijing Olympics for Italy.
How long
And
have you
then
guys been
the
together?
next ones are in Italy.
Oh,
it's
the
a
next
good
ones are
thing.
in
Yeah.
Italy, which
Yeah.
you're going to put that on your calendar.
Yes.
So you're if you could fit it in. So how did you guys meet?
We met at Reggie Bush's charity
Okay.
golf event.
And was it love at first sight?
I noticed him right away, and I was like, he came with Ryan Sheckler, and I didn't know Ryan Sheckler, but I just walked up to him and I'm like, who's that guy you're with? And he goes, oh, he's Louis Vito. He's a snowboarder. He was also on Dancing with the Stars.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, don't know either of those. But I was kind of noticing him. And then after the tournament, everybody gets on the shuttle back to the hotel. This was in San Diego. And he sat behind me and my friend. And he just kept asking like 1,000 questions about our life in professional golf. And so I kept having to turn around and answer his questions, and I'd kind of look at my friend like, I'd turn back around like, oh my God, he's so into me. And then we've been together for 6 years now. And I see
6
him-
years?
Yeah. And he does that with every single person we meet. He just genuinely wants to get to know people.
Well,
And
we did a story with Louis, and I can't wait to get him on the show too. He said that Dancing with the Stars definitely put him out of his comfort zone.
yeah. Yeah, he won't even rewatch it. I've never seen it. I've seen like
You've
certain
never
clips.
Googled it?
I've Googled some of it, but yeah, he hates watching it. But he's been on so many. I mean, he did the what is that? The Sports Illustrated.
Yes, he did.
Whatever.
He
What
did-
is that called?
I feel like he did an award show. He was
Well, he's done a lot of
he's
things.
done a lot
but
of
what's the
award
one
shows.
where they're nude? The body issue.
oh
Sports Illustrated body issue.
oh. Did you Google that? Is
Well,
that
of
when
course.
you decided
I've got
to
that
marry
hanging
him?
on my wall.
Was
No.
was that the deciding factor? Now we all have something to look
yeah,
at.
Yeah.
Um,
Google it.
Okay, so life with Louie and Hailey, and that must be a lot to balance because you're super busy, he's super busy. Honestly, between me and you, I think you guys have the perfect marriage because you're both super busy doing your own thing. But do you snowboard?
I do.
Okay.
Yes. He's taught me how to snowboard. I taught him how to golf to a certain point. And then we
Right.
realized, this isn't really working for us. We need to hire professionals outside of ourselves to teach each other. So
To teach each other.
Yeah.
And then why, Frankie, why did you dive in to get a dog? Because you're not busy enough.
Well, we really like a challenge. No, we are dog people. Both of us grew up with, I had a dog. He got a dog when he moved out. And I just really, really wanted a dog. We couldn't have a big dog with how much we travel.
Sure.
We'd have to leave it too much, and it wouldn't be fair for the dog. So we started looking into smaller dogs. We're not small dog people, but we found Italian Greyhounds. We're like, oh my gosh,
It's
their
so
personalities
cute. I've
are
never
so cool.
seen one.
Yeah. Well, and since they're Italian, Lulu
Right.
was
It all
on
works.
board.
Right. That was the selling factor. Well,
Yeah.
when I text you, I'm like, will you please come on the show? You're like, oh, but I have to bring Frankie. I'm like, awesome. That'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So what's next? Let's talk about social media now, because I did want to circle back with that. You're always doing great videos, a lot of interactive. You have such a sense of style, which I want to dive into. But there is this other very candid side of you that shares stuff about health and other things that you're going through. And you don't have to necessarily dive into that. But why is it important for you to publicly put that out there?
I think it's just really important to be your authentic self. And for me, I've grown this platform. I know I have some young followers. I know I have, parents who hit me up and they say, "Oh, I show my daughter your stuff every day. Like, she loves watching your stuff." So I feel like it's easy to create this perfect image of what your life is like, but that's not reality. My life is not perfect. Part of Frankie is he will be a service dog. He is already certified as a service dog for me, because I get anxiety at times. And that's something I've never really talked about, but I think that it's so important to show everyone that my life is not perfect, even though it may seem like it is. I get to go do really fun stuff. I get to do crazy things, but I struggle just like anyone else struggles, and I'm not perfect.
I think that's awesome. And I think it's very refreshing, especially with you have an array of followers, and I'm sure they span a lot of different ages. Let's do a few fun questions.
Okay.
Your first hole-in-one was where?
TPC here, Scottsdale, hole 16, the day after Waste Management.
Can you believe that story? I know, I'll never forget when you told me that story. Do you go to the Open?
Yes, but I try to avoid it these days. I'm like, okay, I've lived here for 8 years now. I'm good on the Open. I like the stuff around the Open.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have such an emotional connection to that 16th hole now.
Oh, yeah. And
is that
honestly,
your only hole-in-one?
I have another, and it was just at an event here, so it wasn't even, I don't even know the name of the course. Like, I can't remember it. It wasn't important to me at all. I was on that hole all day hitting shots, so it's not even a legit hole-in-one, but I still count it in my head.
Absolutely. You have to count it when you can say you've done it.
Yeah.
Your style. Describe your style, because I think people go on your Instagram, they're like, I want all of that, even if I don't play golf.
Yeah, well, my golf style, I would say, is definitely different. It's than like the norm of golf style. It's tight. I don't know how I would describe it. It's just a little more young and trendy. It's more like athletic than golf style usually is. I like wearing like my golf skirt with maybe like a baggier like hoodie or something, and my high top golf shoes. Something that I could also go wear outside, or that I would wear.
That's
more
versatile.
Like street style,
right.
golf style. If that makes
sense.
sense.
Let's now go street style.
Okay.
Like if you were going out tonight.
If I'm going out, I would literally wear something like I'm wearing jeans. I'm so need to grow out of the crop top era.
If you can do it, you do it.
And then like a heeled boot or something. Yeah.
Okay. Another question. Workout routine.
Oh, that's a long one.
Strenuous? Like, is it daily?
Yeah. 5 days a week.
Okay.
So Mondays, leg day, very intense leg day. I use Louis' trainer, who also trains other Olympians, NFL players.
That's awesome.
He put me on, it's called the Playboy Bunny program, because it was for the Playboy Bunnies. It was literally their program. So basically Playboy Bunny now, if you're wondering.
That's Hailey 2.0.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't look like them. But yeah, so Mondays, leg day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is cardio, but it's a very intense. It's not just like you go out and run. It's an interval.
Was
cardio.
he the guy? So he did all the Playboy bunnies.
Yeah.
Like not. I mean
He didn't do.
He
all the
didn't
Playboy
do
bunnies,
the Playboy bunnies.
but
He
yeah,
trained. Let's be very specific. He trained the
them.
Playboy bunnies. So there must be an art to what he does.
Yeah,
it must work.
He's very old school. He was a bodybuilder, like no steroids bodybuilder. Like he held tons of world.
That's
records.
awesome.
Yeah, he's intense. I love him. John Schaefer. Shout out to John.
Shout out to John.
Yeah.
He'd be fun to have on.
Oh, I don't know if you could have him on. He would be cussing up a storm.
I mean, well, I don't.
You'd have to bleep him.
This is why I don't do normal news anymore. I think we could say whatever we want around here.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's intense. It's just, I look at my career and I'm like, okay, when I was golfing, I had to keep up with this fitness, but now because of how my life has changed, I just need to kind of keep a good physique and feel good and be healthy, and so that's.
But it's also part of being healthy. Yeah, it's part of being healthy. Your ideal date night with Louie.
I love going to the movies, but I honestly go to the movies for the popcorn.
Okay,
so go to the movie, go to dinner, like at sushi or something, and then go to the movies, get popcorn, and then honestly, I just want to go home.
Right.
And like watch another movie at home.
What's on your playlist, or what are you listening to lately?
My playlist is so all over the place. MGK, Yellow Wolf. Right now I've been listening to Ariana Grande Christmas. She's the best Christmas.
Yes, and you could take that through the whole year.
Yeah, I will listen to that all the time.
And then what about cheat meal?
Ooh, best cheat meal, Mexican. I'll always do Mexican.
Mexican.
Yeah, any Mexican.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I guess 5 years. I'm getting old. I better.
You're not. Don't say that to me.
Better start
I'm sitting right here.
Thinking about. I'm sitting right here. I better start thinking about having kids by 5 years. But
okay.
yeah,
so you do want kids.
I do want kids. I think family-wise, I would love to have kids. But I think that is the one part of my life that I will probably keep private. I say that now, and maybe it won't be that way. Maybe I'll change my mind later on, but I do think I'll keep that more private. So career-wise, I would love to have my own show. That's my dream.
What's your dream show? Like, what's the premise?
Honestly, more reality-based of mine and Louie's life together, what we're doing. We're constantly traveling.
But we like Life with Louie, but your name has to be in it too.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of names.
Life with the Vitos. Yeah. I don't know. We'll come up with something.
I know. No,
that's my dream.
And would Louie do it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
he's fun.
He would do it. Yeah, he would. It ended up being his show.
Yeah,
it started out as my show, and it ended up being his show.
What's on your bucket list? I know you love to travel. Or is there anything on your bucket list that you have always wanted to do?
I really want to go to Greece.
Yes, that's
top of the list. I really want to do that. But anything, I don't know. I would love to. There's people I want to meet.
Who?
I would love to meet Elon Musk these days because he's just so strange. I want to meet him. Mark Wahlberg because, hello.
Well, he has some tequila and some good clothing.
He does, yeah. And I guess I would have to play golf with him in 2 hours. So that's his thing, I think.
Is that what he does?
Yeah, he wakes up super early. He goes to the gym at 4:30 a.m. and then he hits the golf course first tee time of the day, and he's done in 2 hours. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Who would win?
Me.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Wait, I had another. Oh, favorite golf course?
Crosswater in Sun River, Oregon.
I love Sun River. But that also means a lot to you because it's home.
It's home. I grew up on that course. It was always the championship course that we got to play. And then I played it, actually, our championship in college, our conference championship, and I won that tournament. It was my biggest win I had in my college career. So it has a lot of memories, but it's also just, I've always loved that course.
Sure. And what about, is there a golf course that you haven't played that's on your list?
Yeah, of course. I want to play Augusta, but I'm not somebody that is I can't wait to go play this course. I'll see a course. We'll fly in somewhere and we'll see a course flying in. And I'm like, wow, that course looks so nice. I'd love to go play it. But to me, it's more about who you're playing with.
It's the experience.
Yeah. So if I got to go play Augusta by myself, to me, that wouldn't matter. That wouldn't be on my bucket list.
Right.
That's not as cool. So.
What else do you want to add? I mean, I'll sit and talk to you all day. But I told you I'd get you out of here within an hour. Is there anything else you want to talk about? What haven't we covered?
What haven't we covered? Frankie?
Well, we're
He's
going to get to
sleeping now.
Frankie. I know. I have our producer
See, I
saying
said
we
he was
have
gonna
to
calm
show
down.
Frankie. But he did calm down.
He did.
And the rule is that you need to learn this now is you never wake a sleeping baby. But you have to wake him.
Okay, I'll
Can you
get
show
him.
Hold
Of
on.
course.
Okay, we're going to get Frankie. We're
We'll
going to
get his
a nice
food
shot
out of the
Frankie.
way that I've been holding so he...
And in the meantime, Hailey, what is your Instagram so people can follow you?
My Instagram is Hailey Ostrom.
Oh,
Here's Frankie.
It's your debut, you little baby. Oh, he's
You're
so
gonna be a
precious.
star.
He's a superstar. Life with Frankie.
That's what it
Life
should be
with
called.
Frankie.
It's just Frankie's show.
It's Frankie's show. Well, you know I love seeing you, Hailey. Hailey's just been so good. Just, you know, I call her for interviews and so responsive. And I think, and, you know, same with Louie. And I just think that that's a testament to who you are and your authentic self. And you radiate beauty from the inside and out. And I just adore you and appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you for having me on. And Frankie on.
And Frankie.
We love
So
being here.
follow Hailey, watch her new show this year. What's it called again?
Blazing Aces.
Now with Nadine. Produced at Star Worldwide Networks.